Hey Jessica, my name is Connie Presses and I'm going to be your career counselor today.
Okay.
Before you came in, I did go ahead and work up a graduation application for you so that we would at least have a head start. I'd go ahead and see where you stood as far as graduating with your associate's degree.
Okay.
Did you have any specific questions regarding your degree and your upcoming career?
Well, I am considering changing my program of study to biology, so I want to see how that would change everything if I were to change my program to biology.
Okay. If you want to go ahead and take a look, if you did decide to change from foreign language to biology, the main thing that would change would be your electives as far as your area D. Most of these classes that you've already taken either are classes that you won't be able to use because of that switch, because you're going from a non-math science major to a math science major.
Right.
And then as well as area F, your program of study hours, all of those classes, because you're going from mostly Spanish classes to actual science classes. So you will have to take a large number of science classes.
Right.
After you complete your associate's degree in biology, if you do decide to pursue that career, are you planning on staying with us and pursuing your bachelor's degree in biology?
I'm not quite sure yet because I really don't know what I want to do. So maybe, since I'm not sure, I could do general studies and then figure it out from there. What would you recommend?
What are your plans for the future? What are your interests? What are you more geared towards?
That's the thing, I really don't know. I mean, I guess I'm in that stage where I know what I want to do when I get older.
Do you like working with people, or would you
I do like working with people. I like to talk a lot.
Okay. Let's go back to your foreign language degree. What were you planning on doing with that if you did earn your associates in foreign language? Were you planning on pursuing that further? Or were you planning on taking that, or were you planning on combining the two degrees into one specific area?
Well, at first, since I am undecisive, I did consider to do international studies with it, or international business. But I haven't really decided since I'm only 2 years into it. But you never know. I could start teaching or something and consider it.
Okay. Since you did say that you were still a bit on the rocks about which way you want to go, whether it's foreign language or biology, and you did want to pursue your general studies. As far as our particular institution, we don't offer a bachelor's in general studies, but there are other options as far as other schools, and it gives you a little bit more time as far as making that decision.
Right.
If you did decide to graduate with your general studies degree from us, you are fairly close, as well as with foreign language. That biology associate's degree is the one that would take you
2 more years, maybe.
Possibly at least 2 or 3 more semesters, give or take.
Wow.
But if you do decide that you want to go pursue biology, then that would be a decision that you would have to make. But it also depends on what your future plans are as far as your career. Where were you planning on taking that biology degree?
Why was I?
Like, what are your plans? Are you planning on to the medical field? Are you planning on teaching?
I would like to go to the medical field, but like I said, I just know medical field, you can never go wrong with that.
True.
But I really don't know. I haven't considered being a registered nurse or dental hygiene or anesthesiology assistant. But I just haven't really decided yet.
If you decided to go the registered nurse route, you'd probably be better off if you decided to go towards chemistry instead, because they do deal a lot with the medicinal side. As far as dental hygienists and that sort of thing, you'd probably be better off on the technical school side. Were you planning on using financial aid? Are you paying out of pocket?
Well, yes, I'm doing financial aid.
Okay. Because you're using financial aid as far as paying for your education, you do need to keep in mind that what they look at is your attempted hours.
Right.
So you don't want to accumulate a large number of hours geared towards one subject and then go and change it and go towards a different program of study. Because all that's doing is using up those hours. And there is a maximum that you can take. And once you reach that cap, you're no longer eligible for financial aid. But if you did want to if you wanted to stay, if you're still indecisive and you're pretty sure that you don't know which way you want to go, whether it's foreign language, whether it's business, whether it's biology, and you wanted to go ahead and get your associate's degree because you are that close to it, you could do that route. And there are several institutions that do offer the bachelor's program in general studies. And as long as you speak with the representative of the master's program, once you've made that decision, it's possible they may allow you to get into their program with your associates and your bachelor's in general studies, as long as it's not in the medical field. So that would be the only thing. If you do decide to pursue the medical field, the general studies route would not be the way to go, because you have all these science classes that you're going to have to end up making up, and more than likely you'll end up having to pay for those out of pocket. And with financial aid, I believe that with them, once you've earned your bachelor's degree, you're at your cap. They'll no longer pay for it. But I would we'll have to follow up on that just to make sure that I'm not giving you any inaccurate information. But let's see. But as far as your actual courses, it does look like you are fairly close to earning both either the general studies or the foreign language. And as far as your grades are concerned, from what I saw on your academic transcript when I printed it, they do look relatively well. So you shouldn't have an issue depending on which track you do decide to pursue. Do you have any other questions regarding any specific programs of study or any other programs that you may be interested in?
No, those are the only ones I have considered. But I'm probably just going to stick to general studies, just knowing that, you know, with general studies you can almost do anything, and anytime I can change.
With the options that you're currently looking into, have you considered education as one of those options?
Yes, but I would like to probably teach in a professor level.
So something more like college, high school level, or higher?
Well, college or university level.
Okay, because with an education major, you would have to take education classes as well. So I'm not sure if your plan is to do general studies. You may want to go ahead and start looking at other schools to see what the requirements are for those schools as far as your different options are, what you're leaning towards the most. That way you're not going towards one area taking classes that you don't need. Because not only is that using up your time as far as financial aid is concerned, it's also it's your time that you could be spending on a different class. It's homework that you could be working on a different class that's actually geared towards your degree. That's going to help you in the long run.
So should I go ahead and change my program study to general studies?
As far as your actual program of study, because of how indecisive you are at this time, if you are for 100% sure that you're not going to go the foreign language or the biology track, I do recommend you change it. However, you got to keep in mind that once the change has been made in the system, there's going to be new requirements. For example, as far as catalog years, if you, let's see when you started. Looks like you started with fall of 2010. The fall of 2010, the requirements, catalog requirements for graduation were different compared to what they are now. So there will be differences as far as classes between fall of 2010 and the current catalog. If we change your program now in our system, you're going to have to go by the new catalog requirements. So there are extra classes that you will have to take, and there are several new classes that appear under the new general studies requirements compared to as the old ones. So it depends on whether you graduate according to the fall 2010 catalog or you graduate under the current catalog. And we also have to see that may affect on how much longer it takes for you to graduate. Were you planning on taking any summer classes?
Well, yes. This summer I'm just going to take one class, which is World Lit. And then the fall I'm just going to take the rest.
So if you're planning on taking, you take one literature, it'll be about 3 credit hours. Did you attend full-time fall and spring semester?
Not fall. I'm only taking 9 hours.
You're currently
but
taking 9 hours?
But that's how many I need if I do consider general studies.
Because we also have to look at, with the new regulations as far as financial aid, if you attended full-time in the fall semester and full-time in the spring semester, you may not have any aid left over for the summer semester for this current academic year. So we'll have to look into that as well to ensure that the aid is there and is available to pay out of pocket.
Well, in the summer, I'm paying out of pocket.
Okay, so you are aware. Have you spoken with a financial aid counselor yet?
Yes, I have. She did say I wouldn't have any money for financial. For summer, and I just took the consideration to pay out of pocket. And then in the fall, I'm just gonna. My Pell starts over, so I'm only taking 9 hours.
Okay. This pretty much concludes everything as far as graduation is concerned. Did you have any other questions regarding your career, your possibilities as far as your time after you leave our institution?
Not now, but if I have any, I'll come back and talk to you about it.
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming in and meeting with me, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me or give me a call.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.